Hi,
My name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
All right, my friends. Once again, it's time to get our talk on. It's Morning Talk with me, your host, J. Stan McCauley, along with the champions of talk this morning. Talk champion in the house, Cleo Duke Wright. Morning, Miss Cleo. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Good morning to you.
How was your week?
My week was pretty good, as usual, a little tiring, but pretty good.
All right. I'm here fidgeting, trying to get my little act together. 1, 2, 1. There we go. I did it. I thought I did a sound check. There we go. All right, we're getting it together. So you had a good week. Did you do anything special this week?
Not too special. No, not too special. No incidents this week. I was so very happy to see, and I was home more, so I could watch things more, and less things happen.
Very good.
Less mishaps when I'm around. So I stuck around a little bit.
All right. Well, the interesting week this week. Politically speaking, there was a forum yesterday. Blue Hill Civic Association had a forum.
Yes, and I'm so sorry that I had to miss that. I was working and I had to miss it, but I really wanted to be there. And,
I think others will be joining them along the way, perhaps.
Do you think there's going to be more
forums?
Oh, no. Oh, I'm thinking running.
Oh, there very well may be some more people running. Oh, yeah. There's 6 running right now. The latest to enter the race was Senator John Von Fair. And so he is in the race. He was at the forum yesterday. So all of the declared candidates were at the forum. It was a good forum. I encourage everybody to watch it. We'll play some clips today.
Okay, that'll be nice.
Just give you a sense of what it was like. But it was nice. Our very own Cynthia Jennings. We claim her at the African American Alliance. She was the moderator.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of cross pollination between some of the organizations. So.
That sounds good. So we're off and running.
We're off and running.
Yes.
Off and running.
And let's see how things are gonna turn out.
Yeah.
But we really do have to know something about the candidates before we walk into the booth. I hope people understand that how important that is.
Yeah, I always tell people, look, they're not. You are not their cause. You're not their charity. You're just a vote. If you were their cause or charity, you'd already know about it because they'd be contributing to it already.
Right.
You would be the cause celeb in their life. There would be a track record of them supporting that cause. It's not there, so you didn't. All of a sudden, now that they announced you've not become their cause. The thing that I find interesting is that candidates want you to sign on board right now.
Oh,
right?
Yes, I'm getting a lot of text messages about signing up with candidates, and even I don't know if you're getting these text messages. How did you vote in the last election? Who did you vote for? What? I answer none of those questions.
I don't answer those. Yes, none of your business.
I'll tell you I'm a Democrat. That's what I'll tell you. I'm a Democrat. But then I thought that was the last question. I thought that's all they wanted to know. Whether, of course, they already know I'm a Democrat because they, you know, they must have the records.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I pushed that, there was a whole list of questions. I said, no, I'm not even gonna bother with that, and I just turned it.
Well, that's interesting. You know, I always, if I do tell them, I tell them I'm a Democrat that's been cross-endorsed by the Republicans, who's been freed from the plantation of party politics, so I'm an independent thinker.
Oh, wow.
If you can write all that on the little card, you'll be good to go. Put it just like I said there. Yeah.
I'm a Democrat, but I'm going to vote for a person.
I vote for person, not party.
Yes, I vote for a person, and not the party thing, because that has been extremely disappointing to me.
Yeah.
And this thing about Biden, I don't want to, you know, I'm tired. I'm really tired of it. I'm really tired
It's
of
just,
it.
It's so...
going to turn out to be nothing.
It's pettiness all the way around. They act like schoolyard children.
Yes.
Fussing and fighting. They're both guilty of the same exact things. And this is it's inner party squabbles, and then there's party squabbles, and all this bidding and biting for power. You know, this stuff was out long before now, but it leaked out. So it leaked out of the Biden White House, just like stuff was leaking out of the Trump White House. There's always someone, to all of the mayoral candidates, hopefully you should know this already, there's always going to be someone who wants you gone. Right from the jump.
Yes. And what are they going to do? They're going to use us to do it. You know, I'm really sick of being used to fulfill your agenda.
Yeah.
I don't want to be bothered with it.
Well, I'm more interested in the candidates that want to help fulfill our agenda as constituents.
And have they done that in the past?
Well, that's
or is this just the first time you're talking about this, promising these things, and you know, I just, if you've been in politics for a while and you've held office in some capacity, then I could read whether you did this for us or you did this for the party. I should be able to kind of decipher that.
Absolutely.
Out of my reading.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want these big promises, and and the name calling. I'm sick of the name calling too. I don't want to vote for anyone who had, you know, who's down talking. Just talk about me.
Right,
what you gonna
right.
do for me?
Right.
I don't want the name calling stuff.
Well, you know, people are trying to get folk, and understandably so. You know, you want people to follow you, but to me, you can't be a salesman without a product. So, what am I buying? What am I supporting? Just because you announce doesn't mean I know what you're going to do, what you are, what you're going to say. So, we have a lot of time ahead of us. So, to me, the thing I love so much about yesterday's event was that it was so early. And of course, politically speaking, there are those who would say that it's too early. However, it's not too early to announce that you're running for mayor. So then it's not too early to begin to ask, what are you going to do as mayor? Because to me, once you make the announcement, then you should have a plan in mind. You have some sort of vision, you know, and then the next thing, how are you going to make it happen? You know, knowing what's broken is one thing. How you fix what's broken. And I don't mean...
Was that in the debate at all? Any indication of any of that information out of any of the candidates?
The moderator did ask one question, or maybe even several, with how will you go about doing it? And for me, the how is important, but not whether or not you have a fix of your own, but the methodology, the procedural part of.
That's what
how are you going to implement this? Because there's a system that's benefiting from the dysfunctionality.
That's what I noticed the last time you ran for mayor.
Mm-hmm.
You had all that stuff together. I mean, you had the whys, the how, and what should happen. You had it all planned out. So you're thinking, well, other candidates ought to have that also.
For me,
they also should be able to answer the questions, the hard questions that people have,
right.
and the really hard concerns. Because Harvard people have a lot of concerns. I don't think that they've been well taken care of by elected officials. So that's what I learned from you when you were running.
Well, I mean, I'm just one constituent.
That you had a plan, and so you're, hoping they have one too.
They have to have. If you're going to take over management of a McDonald's, you got to have some sense of how it runs. If you're going to take over management of a small nonprofit, you have to have a sense of how it's going to run, or of a church. What are you going to bring there in terms of leadership relative to what the people that attend need, relative to the overall framework or structure of the denomination, if it's a denominational church. You can't just roll up in there. It's a Methodist church. You bring your Baptist self up in there.
That happened. That happened too. When I was in a UCC church, a Baptist came in. Mm-hmm. Well,
United Church of Christ, for those that don't know the UCC. No. Yeah.
Those are two different ways. It's two different. I mean,
night and day.
They're not even close. And so I was saying to the minister, who had just come in, who was a Baptist, knowing he was coming to a United Church of Christ church, I said, "What about what are we doing for Advent?" I said, "I don't see anything started." I didn't have a position at that time. I was a parishioner, and I wanted to know Advent was coming up, and to me, that's a very important time for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying, "Well, what are we gonna do?" And he said, "What's that?" I said, "Oh my God!" So he said, "I don't know anything about that. I'm a Baptist minister." And I said, "Well, you're in a United Church of Christ church. What do you mean you don't know?" So anyway, I bought him the Book of Worship, and I guess, but he never became that kind of a minister.
No, he's it's not likely that he would. Old traditions die hard.
So you don't take a position in something you know absolutely, and not train at least to take that position. Mm-hmm. So,
would you allow someone to work on your brain at the hospital who is a dentist? I mean, the dentist is good when it comes to your teeth, but I don't know if I want him working around in the neuro. I don't want him operating on my brain. I'm a doctor. Doctors can get a little bit, heady. Yeah. But you're a doctor of dental surgery. I need a brain surgeon.
This happened to one of my friends that you know very well that I meet at Burger King in the morning.
Yes.
And he had some pain, arthritis, and he thought that he was going to go to a specialist. Mm-hmm. So, there's not too much you can do with arthritis. You got to exercise, and you got to keep them joints moving. Mm-hmm. So when he got there, he had a nurse practitioner, I think, who was not a specialist. Oh, that was... And then she wanted him to exercise? What's wrong with these people? they just want your money. They don't know anything. I'm not going back to her. Then they gave me some pills that he refuses to take. And I'm laughing. I'm saying, you got arthritis. You got to keep moving. You got to exercise, or you're going to get stiff. Mm-hmm. And you won't be able to walk, and you won't be able to do these things. She's telling you the right thing. Exercise. I'm too old to exercise.
That's too funny. I guess the only thing worse than the heady doctor is the patient who knows more than the doctor.
Yes.
Right. I know as much as the doctor. He don't know nothing. I know me better than anybody.
So it was funny that he knew nothing. I mean, he didn't understand. He doesn't understand his body, even a limited amount. And I was trying to explain to him that if you have arthritis, which most of us are going to get as we get older, you have to keep moving. Limp along, crawl along, but don't sit still long. You just got to keep moving. I said, I got arthritis. I got this and this and this. And I'm limping along sometime, but believe me, as long as I can limp, I'm limping. I don't want to sit down and be able to do nothing. To be one day confined to a wheelchair. Or, because your mind tells you, his mind's telling him he can't do it, but he can do it. We all can do it. We all can do something. So.
Well, I'm going to play something from yesterday.
Okay.
These are random. I'm not selecting certain people. So they'll be random. So, I don't know who's going to speak. I'm just click and then I'll play. All right. And then we'll click again. And these are just a couple of different sound bites from yesterday's forum. All right. So, let's see here.
Very rarely from Enfield to Saybrook Canyon. This study will really
Who is this?
next October.
This is John Fun. Oh,
That property
there we go.
as it is
John
today, as an
Funfair.
airport versus what it could be in terms
I
of
thought I knew what he looked
recreational
like. I
opportunities,
guess I
businesses,
didn't.
and what have you. We'll know the answer then. A very strong yes to close the airport. Yes.
Thank you. And Dr. Dunn,
All right. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
yes.
Okay. Just like Tracy said, I'm just aware now hearing about this, but I would say keep it closed until we can find what to do with it.
Okay, thank you. Eric Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Moderator.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
No. Move the mic close.
Try it.
And somebody give him a working mic.
Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Am I heard?
No.
Here.
I think somebody got a charger for these mics.
The mics work. It's the mic operator, Nick. I was infuriated when he said that. Please don't do that in public again, because I will step on y'all. If you can't operate a microphone, then you shouldn't be allowed to run the city. There's nothing wrong with the mics. They don't need battery and charging. I take stuff like that personally.
Okay, it looks like it's on.
I can be heard now? Okay,
Yes,
great.
talk
great.
close.
So, I'll take a different view. I think the airport should not be closed. As a matter of fact, I think it should be enhanced. There's a lot of short-sightedness. In my view, there's a lot of potential in the airport. People, I think it's easy to create the narrative that it's a playground for wealthy people. I don't think all of that is true. There's a lot of activity that's taking place at the airport, including aviation schools and training that our young people could take advantage of. Some of the jobs that are being trained for at the airport are very well-paying jobs, so $70,000 a year and up. And the training apprenticeships that could occur at Brainerd Airport for many of our young people could result in very lucrative careers in the aeronautics industry. I don't think we should take that lightly. There's a lot of potential in that airport, and I'm not sure that the remediation costs would support the kind of development that other people are talking about.
Okay, Mr. Arunan.
Yeah, so I think the way we're approaching this question, with all due respect to the moderator, is part of the problem with our politics here. For that, we should have to come in with a hardened view on something without ever having a community conversation, without ever bringing people to the table. Look, Senator Fonfera has gotten money from the state to do a study. Let's read the study. Let's go in front of the community. Let's talk to people about what they want to see. You know, as CEO of the land bank, whenever we get a property, I personally, as CEO, walk around within a 1 block radius, knock on every door, and ask residents, what do you want to see here? What would you like to see in your neighborhood? And this continued focus, this emphasis on each of us, out of our great wisdom, coming in with a hardened view on everything, without bringing community into conversations on redevelopment and into conversations on what we do with large tracts of land in our city, I think is so why so many people feel so disconnected from this process. We've got to bring people to the table. We've got to lean on the wisdom within the whole city, within the community, within the village, and we've got to listen to people and start to put people first.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Wait, we need a yes or no from you on whether you would keep the airport open or
I
not.
think it's a bad question.
Okay,
That's my answer.
What's your answer? That it's a bad question?
I
Okay.
think it's set up a bad form of politics within our system, and I think it's a bad question. My answer is I would have a real conversation about it, and I would listen to people. The idea that we can't listen to people before a mayor makes up their mind on something, before we as a community make up our mind on something, is exactly what's wrong with our politics.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to take that time off your next question. No, we're not.
Can I have 30 seconds?
Okay.
30 seconds, madam.
All right. Hold on. Yes, you can have a 30-second rebuttal, but there's a follow-up question to the airport issue.
All right.
Sure. Go ahead.
Me first?
Yes. Yes.
So, I think there's a lot of supposition that there have not been studies regarding this issue. There have been studies. This matter has been talked about since 2016, probably earlier than that. Probably the discussion started in 2006. So it's not that we're coming new to this. As a matter of fact, the study in 2016 said the best and most economically feasible use for that space, for that land, was as an airport. We also overlook the fact that there's civil aeronautics, homeland security, civil air patrol that are using that airport. FAA and the CAA are not going to close that airport lightly.
Thank you. All right, and Nick LeBron, you had a
Yes, thank you. I want to just throw a key word out there called tokenization. So what I saw was when we talked about closing the airport, they paraded this young man of color from Hartford as, oh, there's students from Hartford here. So I said, okay, let me give it a chance. Let me go visit. So I went to go see. First, they didn't let me in. Second, they didn't let me in. Third, I met with a team. And fourth, I finally got in, the janitors. Janitors run the show in a lot of places. And when I looked at those students, they did not look like us. And so we can't be promised the potential of tomorrow when we are on fire today.
Okay. Thank you. Now the follow-up question starts down with Arunan. Okay, the follow-up question on that is, on Christmas Eve, Southwest Airport closed down 80% of their flights. And the reason was because we have an international pilot shortage. So knowing that there's an international pilot shortage, do you support Hartford residents being trained to become pilots and aircraft mechanics, making over $100,000 a year to start? That's the question. Do you support Hartford residents becoming pilots?
Yeah, look, as long as we have an airport, I think it makes sense. I think Any training program that's going to get jobs for Hartford residents, we've got to support.
All right. No, that we were supposed to start at that end. I'm sorry.
So I also support Hartford residents getting jobs as pilots, but there are other jobs. There are jet engine mechanics positions that people can be trained for that are equally as high paying as the pilots positions are.
Okay. Thank you. All right, doctor.
I support it as well. The reason why I support it is any jobs that we can bring to Hartford residents is a positive and, motivation to Hartford.
Thank you. Senator?
There we go. I emphatically support training our folks to become a pilot, a mechanic. That school is there at Brainerd because I worked to get it there many years ago when it was in Wyndham and they weren't able to get enough people to participate. And we got the money to build it in Hartford. There's no connection to that facility and the airport, none. That facility can be anywhere in Hartford or anywhere else for that matter. But there's no relationship to the airport in that facility. And unfortunately, despite efforts to, there hasn't been any attempt to connect that school in the Hartford school system or anyone else. There are very few people in Hartford who know that that's there.
Thank you.
Yes, I support all residents of Hartford to get that job and any job they go for, if they have the opportunity to get it. So absolutely, I support that.
Thank you.
So I won't waver and I'll say yes, right? I think anyone here would want opportunities. And going back to the further question, because they're interconnected, that's the second piece. That's the job opportunity piece. But I think what we have to realize and what we have to look at is what is the bridge to these job opportunities? Just because they exist don't mean we have access. So what I plan to do to be the future mayor is to be that bridge and provide that access no matter where it is. I've done okay, all right. I don't want to upset the moderator, but okay.
Thank you.
All right. So that's just a little taste. You all can watch this, of course, on accesstv.org and, of course, on Facebook and other places, YouTube and everything. But it was a good, lively forum, and they're going to have another one in February at Weaver.
Oh.
And it'll be on public safety. So it'll be interesting. And then, of course, we will have all of the candidates. We'll be extended an invitation. I can't make them come, but we're going to extend an invitation for all of the candidates to come on accesstv.org for an interview. And so I had to put on my executive director hat and make the hard call. So they will be on the morning show on Friday.
And Friday, what Friday?
That's when they'll come on Fridays. So you and I will interview them. Right? Because we have other hosts that I'm sure would like to interview them, but I can only choose one host. Now I'm sure the others will say, well, you could float it around, but then the
You know what they're
questions
gonna
would
say? What a Cleo know? Why don't you have me? You know what they're gonna say? Come on.
No, what do you mean? What do you know? You're a constituent. You know a lot.
I know, but I don't speak the lingo of a politician.
Well, that's good. That's good. We don't want lingo. We want answers to questions. And so that's what we'll do. All right. And then they'll be all over the city visiting all kinds of groups and people and things like that. But we'll do our level best. And so I'm gonna make a commitment to cover the forums that I guess Blue Hills has. All right. Mm-hmm. And we'll do that. And yeah. That's my give. Blue Hills is not paying me to cover these. I want everyone to know that these are not. Stan's not being paid to do this. So this is my give back. So that people don't think that I'm being compensated by Blue Hills for being there. All right, but yeah, and I might cover some other forums too, depending upon where they are and how they're structured. All right, but it'd be my call. Just so folk know in advance, I put that stuff. Well, you go to Blue Hill, I can go wherever I want. You're not paying me, so you know.
Good to be free, huh?
You have no idea.
That freedom really tastes good. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah. So it was a very lively exchange.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the opening salvo. And it's just interesting. Very, very interesting. Some of the things that some of the candidates were saying were challenging. You know, it'd be nice to have a instant fact checker on board. But this is how you get to meet them. Watch the forum. That's all I can say. Watch it. Watch the forum. You can watch it over and over and over again. You can have watch parties with your friends and take notes as to the things that they said. And this is how this works. You watch it, take notes, then go to the next forum, and when you ask your questions, challenge them on the things that they said. You are contradicting yourself because you said this at that forum, but now you're saying this. Did you have a change of heart, change of mind? And we have people, the constituents need to start asking these types of tough questions.
Yeah.
That's what I think anyway.
A lot of constituents don't deem themselves knowledgeable or informed or have the I don't want to say courage, but they are not comfortable. A lot of people are not comfortable in that arena at all.
Well, we're trying to help them get comfortable.
Yeah, well, trying to help.
Right, we're modeling the behavior of a constituent. That's what we do here on the morning program.
And several people have said to me, "Oh, he's good or she's good," because they came into my house. They came to my house. They sat down. They talked to me, and I say, "Well, that doesn't mean they're good. That doesn't mean that they're gonna help you." But people do vote that way. I have several friends who vote because of a candidate came to their house and talked to them, and so they thought that was wonderful, and they voted for him. Had no idea about any kind of issues whatsoever, or what the candidate did in his last term, or they just think that they're wonderful.
Well, when the vacuum cleaner salesman comes by your house, or the aluminum siding salesman, or the I want to pave your driveway guy, or the the windows guy, they stop by your house. You have 3 days that you can
renege on.
You have 3 days that you can renege on that offer, so that you don't get hemmed up. And so if the candidate came by your house and you had 3 days to recall your vote after the election, then that would be good. So just because they stop by your house doesn't mean that they're salesmen with a valuable product. So stick and stay. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. It's Morning Talk. Cleo Dugrec is in the house, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Independent thinkers are Puerto Rican, Mexican, Peruvian, Indian, Bosnian, Italian, Irish, Jamaican, African American, European, straight, gay, Nigerian, transgender, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, short, tall, skinny, rich, poor, happy, sad. Some of us hold a PhD and others a GED. And though we may be Democrats, Republicans, or members of the Working Families Party, we all have escaped the plantation of party politics and become independent thinkers because we as individuals are more than a party. You see, independent thinkers come from all walks of life. And the one thing we all have in common is that we love, live, laugh, and learn in the city of Hartford. We are the constituents, and the government of Hartford belongs to us. My name is J. Stan McCauley. I'm an independent thinker, and I approve this message because it's time to stop towing the party line and vote for a candidate you can trust. You too can escape the plantation of party politics if you have the courage to free your political mind.
Hi, so my name is Nelky Maldonado.
My name is Ramon L. Arroyo.
And we know that Hartford Parent University provides good services and resources to parents in our communities, which are greatly needed because a lot of times our parents, they don't know where to go, how to get information, and being part of this program is essential to them in being successful in their children's education.
And I think that parents should get involved in their kids' education because it's very important. Education is, I always believe, is a success in life. If you got a good education, you can be very successful.
So we encourage our parents to please come join the program, ask lots of questions, and I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed.
Hi,
My name's J. Stan McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
All right. Welcome back. Morning Talk. J. Stan McCauley along with Talk Champion Cleo Duke Wright in the house. So you got any plans for the weekend?
Oh yeah, just maybe I always said doing a little cleaning up. I'm preaching on Sunday, so I'm just cleaning up my sermon and everything.
Okay. All right.
So,
All right. You have to get into your preacher head space.
Yes,
Get your preacher head together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I said, well, Cleo, you write everything down, and then I get up there and I just go off. So I'm trying to get my points together and all of that. So that's what I'll be doing mostly on Saturday, and taking care of my young man for a couple of hours while his mother gets some a little exercise and interaction with her friends. So that's about it. And Sunday I'll be up there. I was very, I wasn't expecting anybody to ask me to preach.
Be ever ready.
Be ever ready.
Instant,
that's right.
in season and out.
Right. So I will. That's what I will be doing. Just filling my mind up. That's it.
All right.
That's my. Oh, and cooking, of course. All that's.
And you like to cook.
Yes, I do. I do. Because my son said, you never cooked. You never cooked. I don't know. I said.
Was he talking about when he was a kid?
Yeah. And you never cooked. But both my sons say that. Even my stepson says, I was like, what are you talking about? We had Thanksgiving, we had Christmas, we had, not the holidays. Oh, no. I'm saying, and my friend says, she invited you, your mother invited me over, she cooked. But I don't. For
someone that didn't cook, they're pretty healthy.
They look.
You ate every day. How could I not cook and you eat?
That's right. You didn't starve to death.
That's
but
funny.
I did have, my oldest son. You have the first child. Well, you think the second child's gonna be kind of like him, So I fed him kind of like my older son, but he grew faster, and I couldn't believe his appetite. I said, "You can't possibly be hungry. I just fed you. Why are you so hungry?" So he might have been hungry a few times, but he survived. Everybody survived. They don't have a particular book on how to be a mother.
The children will teach you how to be a mother.
That's right.
The children come with the lesson plan.
Right. I did partly what my mother did, and then I didn't do the things I didn't like my mother. The things my mother, you know what I'm trying to say.
Right.
What I didn't like, I changed. So I told my sons, look, okay, I made some mistakes. So you correct them with your children. You do the thing with your children. Don't come back at me because you're making mistakes too.
Now the son that makes the salacious claim that you didn't cook, does he cook?
Oh, he's a very good cook.
See, that's okay. I was going to hope that that's what you were going to say.
Yes, both my children are very good cooks. My stepson, he doesn't cook too much, but the other two, they do cook. My oldest son, he has contests with his wife.
Oh, they get competition.
They have competitions, and it's really funny. It's really funny to watch. Him make his specialty. This is my specialty. My other son is he is a meat eater. Oh, these meat eaters drive me crazy because I hate to buy meat.
Steak. He likes.
Oh, steak. Beef, he likes
pork.
Rabbit. Rabbit.
So he likes game too.
Yes, he likes to roast the pig in the summertime. And that. And he's lobster. He likes to put the lobster in the pot. And he does that, and so he's totally different than my other sons.
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Yeah, kids are funny how they turn out and how they grow up. And
my sister was telling me that last week. She says, "I don't know how we came up in the same house and we're so different." I said, our kids are different. She only had one child, so she wouldn't.
Did she spoil the one child?
Oh yes, he never. Yes, he did. He would. She spoiled everybody because I guess I did in my way, but I didn't have as much as her. But she sent him to college. I thought he'd go to school forever. Graduated, then has 2 masters, and he has a doctorate from Columbia. Her grandsons finished college, and now they're gonna get their masters, and
education's way up there on the important list for her.
And also with my brother. My brother's daughter is a chemical engineer. She just came back to Connecticut, so she has this great big house with 5 bedrooms. I haven't been there yet. And I heard a parent home. What do you call apartment somewhere or something like that.
Oh, like an in-law suite.
In-law, right. And so, and of course, I know they get mad at me for saying this. And then there's Auntie Cleo. Oh, poor Auntie Cleo. Then there's Auntie Cleo. So, but, and her boys just work. But, my boys just went to work. Mm-hmm. My younger son went to college, went to Capitol, and was a truck driver, and my other one works for the airline. They do their thing. And I wondered, how come their kids, but they went to college. My brother and my sister went to college. But nobody helped them there. It just happened. People helped them. My parents parents never helped them do that. My mother was glad, but my father could have cared less. He was just worried about finishing high school. He wasn't worried about college. He was a hands man. He did all this wonderful things with his hands. And so it just happened. So I said, well, I thought things just happened. They don't. So they work very hard in getting their children to college. They make sure they were in the right thing. Well, I didn't have that experience. I had to fight for the first job and all of this. So we had totally different experiences, and our lives turned out different than. But I used to be sad about it, but now I'm saying, hey. It's what it is. It is what it is. And I'm okay.
What it is. Well, I mean, everyone brings something different to the table to offer to this. We can't. First of all, we're not all the same. No, we shouldn't be all the same. And what works for one works for the one. It doesn't work for everybody. And I think people have to learn to be satisfied in fulfilling their own dreams and desires. People, I have found through my observation over the years, that people like very much so causing others to do what they want them to do, to be what they want them to be, as opposed to giving them the tools necessary to be themselves and to, how do they want to be?
I think that my family tried to tell me that in so many ways, but I was so busy looking at them and seeing, all the things that people would help them and go to college. And my sister would always say, but Cleo, you're you. Mm-hmm. Don't you know? I remember her saying this, and I didn't see any light. She said, don't you know when you walk into a room that the light comes on, that people get, light and talking? Don't you realize that? And so I said, no, I don't realize any of that. Yeah. So I think they did their best to try to show me that I was okay the way I was, but I wouldn't hear it. I just wanted to be like them. And so it took me a while to, because people were always talking about them, and I wanted to be like that and helping them get their education. I wanted to be like that too. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't like that. I was a different kind of person, and so I had to go my own way.
Well, we all do eventually. Some lock into it early. Others, it takes a lifetime. Yeah. But find something that completes you, makes you feel whole, and then hold on to it. And then and then walk by faith. And people will always have advice on what they think you should do, and you take it, but you don't stop your life because someone else thinks you should be doing something.
They used to have these. My family are talkers, and they always talked about politics and social things, and they would get into the living room and they would just talk, and the conversation. I'd sit there I said, you never invite me into the conversation. Of course, I didn't jump into the conversation. Nobody asked them to get in the conversation. I always felt that they were ignoring me, but actually they were not ignoring me. And then when I would say something, it probably wasn't on the point. I don't know. And my young man does that all the time now. Wants to get in the conversation, just say anything. You know, doesn't make any sense. But they used to laugh at me. And so I took that very seriously. I took everything very seriously. Now I'm tired. I'm just tired of that. So, but it takes a lifetime, I guess.
Well, you're somewhat of an artist. You know, you're an artist. The artists do take things about themselves or the things that they express very seriously.
Yes.
And
the first time I went to Christian education and I went to the seminary, I said, "Oh my God, this is where I belong." But that was for a while, and I went to the churches and worked for the churches, and I always felt very complete there. But I wanted to be like somebody else, so.
Well, you're you, and you're a pretty good you.
That's right.
You're a pretty good you. No one can be a better you than you.
Absolutely.
So walk in the agency of who you are, and when you come in the room and folk don't like you, thank them. Thank you all for letting me know that I don't belong here, because there's other places I could be. I'll give you all $5 tip so that I know I didn't waste a year to find this out.
Absolutely, that is absolutely true.
I appreciate when folk let me know they don't like me, because then I don't have to waste my time trying to. Oh, please.
You're in some place and you just never fit. You keep trying to fit, but you never fit. You leave. You don't fit. Go someplace else. That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
All right, my friends, stick and stay. We'll be right back. Short break, and then we will continue. If you want to jump in here, hit us up in the chat. We'll be right back. Morning Talk.
Hi,
My name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
All right, my friend. Welcome back. We've been talking about all kinds of things. From being yourself to what's going on here politically in the greatest city on earth, Hartford, Connecticut. New England's rising star. Welcome back. It's Morning Talk. I thought before we left we would play another segment of the forum from yesterday. I really encourage you to watch. It's only an hour and I think 40 minutes from start to finish, and you should watch it. Okay, and you just go on Facebook and search it out. Go on YouTube and search it out, and you'll find it. I'm gonna play the closing comments. So I'll play the closing comments so that you all can hear their closing comments. All right, and that'll give you a sense of who they are. So I'll have to search this up. We'll do this together.
Thank you.
I'd like to rebuttal that.
Please. Okay, wait. We're gonna let the.
No, he can go ahead.
Okay, you can go ahead.
You know, me being a single father in the city of Hartford, I literally had to bust my daughter out to Avon to get a better education.
Done. Not enough
intention.
I know I have a minute. I want to say, I think we should start by turning.
What that means is,
I'm trying to find where the moderator gave them a minute to close out. Maybe it's here. Let's see what this is.
Thank you, Miss Funny.
Oh, okay. I think this is it. I think it starts off with Nick. So this might be it here. Okay.
Job creation, crime, the school system, homelessness, housing, community involvement, and of course the airport.
Here it is.
Now you have 2 minutes.
There we go.
And you're going to be held to those 2 minutes to do closing remarks on what you would do when you become mayor. Okay. All right. 1 minute. We're a little short on time.
Ms. Gallant Clark looked at me. She said 1 minute.
Okay.
So what I will say is what most of you have heard me say in my launch is the ability to do more with more. I've had experience through all of my careers and all of my professions, Public Act 13178 that changed the children's behavioral health system that exists today. Federal funding from SAMHSA that provided access opportunities for people all over the state. A community organizer that held a rally with over 10,000 people at the state capitol and forced Governor Malloy to stop session so he could listen to us. Millions of dollars in investment in current opportunities that exist. Now imagine a future with me as your next mayor when I can do more with more.
Thank you. Ms. Funny.
If I was the elected mayor, just get the job done. Get the job done. It's an easy process. Get the job done. We hear the issues. We hear the problems. All we need to do is just come together. You know what I'm saying? Not just as a mayor, but together as a community. And just get the job done. Everybody have a place. Everybody has a place. Let's just come together and get the job done.
This will be a very, very difficult job. And I've decided to pursue this because as a state senator for the last 26 years, as much as I feel much has been done, not enough has been done in order to raise up our neighborhoods. The future of Hartford will be determined by the health of the residents of our city. And on average, the residents of our city's health is not good. And that means increasing incomes, improving dramatically education, and investing in place so as people begin to do better in their world, in their life, they don't do what so many people do right now, which is to leave our city. They'll feel better about their neighborhood and want to invest in it and engage in it because they'll have more resources to do that. They'll feel better about their children and their education and being able to be an involved and engaged resident of their neighborhood. Thank you.
You know, as your next mayor of Hartford, I will make sure that I put Hartford residents first. Put you guys first, because without you guys, we're nothing. You know, again, my slogan is Hartford matters. How much do it matter to you? Are we ready to stop seeing the poverty in Hartford? Are we ready to stop seeing the shootings, the different things? We have to come together as one. It's time to come together to make a brighter Hartford, a brighter future. It takes one day at a time. But if we all get up together, we can do it. It's time for Hartford to thrive. And I promise to get it done. Meet the people where they are.
So I acquired a bit of experience during my time in the legislative arena, in the political arena, and during that time I've answered to no one but the people. If you're one who feels that city government is not open enough, it's not inclusive enough, it's not accountable enough, and it's not transparent enough, I want you to know that help is on the way.
All right.
If you're a person and you feel that your Hartford neighborhood has not been invested enough, there's not been any infrastructure improvement, there's not been any development opportunities in your neighborhood, I want you to know help is on the way. If you're like me and many, many other people and you're sick and tired of hearing about gun violence and young people shooting one another down in the streets, help is on the way. And that help is coming in the form of Eric D. Coleman as mayor of the city of Hartford.
Look, we've had a long conversation tonight about all of the things that folks might think are wrong about the city of Hartford or wrong in the city of Hartford. And I hope that all of you guys walk out of here with hope for the future of the city of Hartford, because there's so much more, I think, that's right in our city. And the biggest thing is each and every one of you. You have so much power. You are such an integral part of our future. And this isn't about me or about anybody at this table. It's about what we can do together. I really believe in the future of Hartford because I believe in the future of each and every one of you and each of the beautiful children in our city, each of the people in our city, and what we can do if we can work together. There is so much power, so much talent, so much potential within each and every one of you, and I would love your help in this campaign and down the road to build a brighter future. So thank you for your time. God bless you all. I appreciate this opportunity.
We promise to get you out on a timely basis, so that's exactly what we're going to do. But before I do the thank you,
So,
I want to say to the press, for the record, I understand that every single mic works. They're voice activated. So don't let that be the press that the mics didn't work. The mics do work. They're voice activated. So I would like to thank, first of all, our moderator, Attorney Cynthia
Thank you for that, Vicki Gallen Clark. Okay, all right. So those were the closing statements. They did an opening statement, they answered questions, and then they did closing statements, and it moved right along. It was good. And I think they even wove in questions from the audience during the questions. Like some of the questions that the moderator read and talked about were from the audience. So there was no standing mic for people to walk up to and ask questions, but rather they were walking around taking cards, and they'd process, if 3 or 4 people asked the same question, they would, move that up to the moderator, and she'd make it one question. So, but it was very efficient. It was really well done. I was impressed. So I'm looking forward to the next one, which will be at Weaver, and that'll also be on public safety. Public safety.
Is African American Alliance going to do one?
The African American Alliance is absolutely going to do a forum. Ours won't be until after, the primary, until after the convention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're going to have is that going to be like a breakfast or no?
I don't know yet. It's up to the membership.
Oh, okay.
I think the membership would like to do like we used to have a annual breakfast.
Yes. That's what I was thinking.
Mayoral candidates forum as part of that breakfast. So I think that we will probably discuss that on Saturday. Yeah. Okay. Maybe put together a committee. Yeah. We'll see.
I did the last one. I ain't doing no more.
Cleo had declared to me earlier before I think we were off the air. She says, I need to start. I'm withdrawing all my work and this, work and that. People will work you to the bone.
Oh my goodness!
You volunteer until you got nothing left in you.
I almost had a heart attack the night before the breakfast because it wasn't. I didn't have the invitations. I didn't have the bulletins. Like, Oh, I don't know what they call them, but I didn't. It was still being printed. It had been being printed all day. And I thought in the morning we'll just take it there and print it up and went, oh no. I said, Then you go there and there's other things that are not to your liking. Mm-hmm. So you got to straighten those out. And then there's people who want to do things that you said, no, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. Then they try to walk over you and do them anyway. Well, I had to go up to the mic. I stopped them. I said, no. Well, it's already started, so you might as well let it finish. I said, it will not finish. No. And, they never asked me again because I don't know why. I think that was the last one we did. I think
the last breakfast we did was the mayoral candidates forum in 2019.
Yes, yeah. Oh, no, that was that. Then, no, it wasn't the last one we did. No, it was the one before that. Yeah.
So we'll do another one this year, before the beginning of before the end of the year, I was thinking, well, maybe we could do one, do lots of them, but Blue Hill Civic Association has stepped up to the plate. And so they're going to do, well, not a breakfast, but they're doing a series of informational teaching, and they're much better equipped for that kind of a thing because, bless you, they do that kind of work and outreach into the community.
Yeah.
So I think if we partner with them, bringing what we do along with what they do, and then not to mention if like the NAACP or other organizations, then we can start to, as a city, hold our potentially elected officials accountable. And we haven't even started to talk about city council people. This is just mayor. So there should be a lot of opportunities to hear from your candidates. We're going to do our level best to bring you those conversations so that you can hear from them, because a lot of this stuff was happening in a vacuum. They talk between 20, 30 people here, 20, 30 people here, but we want to be a force multiplier to amplify what happens in smaller groups to the entire city and beyond that to the region, because as goes Hartford, so goes the region. And so there's going to be one on education, public safety, economic development. And as we move forward with these, I think the intensity of the questions will be increased, and also a hard check on a hard check on candidates that say things that just aren't true or don't line up.
Yes.
So I'm looking for the hard checks to start rolling. Just shut them down, shut them down, shut them down. Because remember, folks, these people are applying to work for you. They're applying to work for you. They're not doing you a favor.
They are not above you.
They're not. They most certainly are not above you. They are your representatives. This is a representative republic. There are people who represent you before the bodies that make decisions, rules, and enforce them. And so you're not subjects in their kingdom, and you're not workers on the plantation. You're constituents, and as such, you have the responsibility of making sure they're doing their job. Sound reasonable?
Yes, that sounds very reasonable.
I'm not being harsh, am I?
But no, you're not being harsh. We're the ones, we forget that we're the boss. We forget that. It's just like, when I worked in the soup kitchen, I said to them one afternoon before lunch, I said, do you realize that because of you, I have a job? Do you realize that so many people in all these organizations have a job because of you? And you have power that you don't even realize you have. You have power. So I was trying to get them to vote, and to speak up. But, I don't know how well I did in that, but I want them to realize that if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't have this job. And nobody else would in any of these organizations that are so rude to us. They're so rude to homeless people. Like they got it so good. Like you got it so good. You struggling too. So
I think the pandemic proved that to a lot of people. That a whole lot of folk that was pretending that they weren't. It discovered real quick that they were all just like two paychecks away from being homeless.
That's right.
And it became a reality very, very quickly.
But then if they became homeless, then the homeless people,
they were done.
But they know how to live on the street.
That is true.
They know how to hustle. Do you? They know how to get a meal. Do you? They know how to sleep in the street and get up in the morning. Do you? So when you're going to be in their realm, and they're going to have to take care of you. If you all of a sudden find yourself homeless and you're in the street, I have found in all those years that they are very willing to teach you how to live out there. If you're laying on cement, somebody's going to give you a piece of cardboard. Or somebody's going to say, man, you can't do that.
Well, there's a whole community. There's a community.
There's a whole community out there. They will actually teach you how to be homeless.
Well, I'm pretty sure that one of the, I'll talk to Miss Vicki Gallen Clark from Blue Hills. She's the executive director of Blue Hills Civic Association, about whether or not there will be a forum on, issues around housing, homelessness, and some solutions in how the people running for office approach that. And it's interesting to hear their answers. Some think they have the answers. Others have an idea of what the answer should be, but don't want to impose it. They want more of a conversation from people for input to the solutions. So it's going to be interesting because those kinds of responses give you a glimpse into the management style of the individual and how they will react and treat you once they get into power. Because once they get into power,
that's it.
It's a wrap. Yep. It's a wrap. People start peeling their faces back. And, if they're snippy and snide and all that now, you don't know what snippy and snide is until they get in power. If they're reflective now, they'll use that same power to implement that kind of reflective attitude.
And if there's no reflection, if you don't feel anything from them, if you don't see anything from them, because people talk more than just with their mouths. You look that person up and down and all around, and facial expression and everything. Because if you can't see that person, go to the next.
Yes.
Go to the next. Because they've been trained not to let you see them. So go to the next. If you don't feel anything, when I was a kid, if I couldn't see or feel that person, I said, Mommy, I don't like him. Or I don't like her. It's because I couldn't see anything. I couldn't feel anything. If you don't feel nothing, you don't see nothing, go.
Well, those are good words of advice. And as we move forward, I hope you all apply some of the things that we're talking about here and on the morning program throughout the year. The year is just starting. It's only the 13th of January. So we have a long way to go. The election is November the 7th. And you don't want to wait till the last 2 weeks because, you really need to know. You need to do a deep dive on the person you're going to give control of the city to for the next 4 years, starting in 2024. So from 2024 to 2028, this person will become the most powerful person in the city. They will choose the police chief. They will choose the fire chief. They will sign off on different things. They're the chief spokesman for the city. Every person that works in the city works for them. They can influence education policy because they get to appoint people to the Board of Education. These are the types of things you need to be considering. It's not impressive that people can be all buddy and chum. We ain't looking for buddies. Everyone got their own set of friends. Right? Looking for people who can do the job. Yeah, if you can't do the job, then you shouldn't be there. Right? And everyone can learn how to do the job. So, there's plenty of time between now and election day. And another question, someone had put this down as a question to ask the candidates. Ask them if they're running to be the party's candidate. Are they running for the party or for the people? So which election are they trying to win? The party's election? Because that's what the primary is. The primary is the party's election. If you're not a member of the party, you can't vote in the election. So you can only vote for your party during the primaries. That's the party's election.
How important is that? Because sometimes I just want to go independent. But I was really nervous about that because I couldn't vote in the primary. So I'm saying, how important is the primary?
The primary is very important because, but one party town, the primary is very important because whoever wins the primary usually winds up winning the general election. But it's the primaries, it's the party's election. It's like being like a union. You can't vote in the union elections for union president unless you're a member of the union. But the teacher, wouldn't it be great if we could all vote for the teachers union president? But we can't. Only the union members do. And the teachers affect your children the most. And the decisions and the things and the demands that they make. So
you have no vote in that.
You have no vote because you're not part of the union. Same thing with the party. You don't have control of the party. The party has control of you and its voices. The mayor is the party's mayor.
So that's a me election. I have to say a me election because it's all about the Democrats. It's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're running, you're not in the primary. You're not running really for the people. You're running for the party.
You're running to represent the party before the people, not instead of. You're going to be the party's candidate for mayor. And now you're appealing to the people. And that generally happens during the general election. So we need to get involved now so the people understand what's at stake. Because there's more than one party in Hartford. There's the Democrat Party. There's the Republican Party. There's the Green Party. The Working Families Party. The Hartford Party. The Independent. The Libertarian. So there may be candidates from all of these. Right now, everyone that's declared is a Democrat, with the exception of Mr. Dunn, who is a petitioning candidate. So he's petitioning his way onto the ballot. He's not trying to run as a Democrat. He's a petitioning candidate. So there are, I want to hear from everybody. If you're running for office, mayor or council, call me. I'll give you 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes of straight time. Say whatever you want. Let people know what you're all about.
You really have to educate people during this time and get out there, because this phrase, I just want to vote for the Democrat, and go into a booth and just vote the Democrat, have no idea who anybody is. I just want to vote for the Democrat. We need to educate people out of that kind of mindset.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Because the Democrats work for us. Right. The Democrats are for the people. That's why we vote Democrat, because they're always for the people, and the Republican is always against the people, and they're gonna take everything away from us. That's
well, there's a whole nother conversation that we'll have next week.
Okay.
Yes. All right, my friends, we're out of time. Have a great rest of your day. Have a fabulous weekend. Do something nice for yourself and people around you. All right. Bye-bye.
My name is J. Stan McCauley, and I do business as Light Source Productions. I provide professional services in the area of strategic video communications. First, what we do is we help you craft your message using what I call the rule of the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why. We do event documentation, content acquisition, full-scale productions, editing, and of course distribution through our social media television network. And with social media, video is more important now than it has ever been. Whether you're talking big business, small business, nonprofit, church, or just an individual. Let's say you plan you're planning an event, a wedding, whatever the case may be. But let's say a big event, but no video. You spent all this time, all these hours to put this event on, and maybe 100, 200 people attend the event. But more important than that is that thousands could attend by watching it on social media. But of course, you don't think about this until after the event is over. You can't afford not to capture it for social media. And despite what people think, I am affordable. Give me a call. Let's plan your next video project and share it with the world on my social media television network. I promise you that you will have the attention of one person, me.